Hi, how you doing? In this video, we're going to be looking at finding your artistic voice. So we really notice when we start working with new artists that we're managing or coaching, especially when they're right at the beginning of their journey and they're still emerging, is that they haven't really formed their artistic voice yet. And sometimes haven't even really given it that much consideration into what the general concept of what they're trying to achieve is. So we're just going to try and address that in this video and just give us something to little think about and to start working towards achieving that. So there's a couple of aspects to artistic voice, and some people think it could be brand or your sonic identity, and we'll look at those in other videos. So for this video, we just want to focus on the main point of what we believe is specifically your artistic voice. So what do we mean by that? So we mean that essentially your sonic landscape and your music might shift over time, or your brand and your image, these things can all change over time, and they should change over time and evolve. That's great. Okay, but basically throughout all those changes, underneath all of that, your artistic voice is pretty much a constant for the whole time. And it's that artistic voice that will help you build a fan base. Okay, that's the thing that people will connect with. So what is it that they're connecting with? How do you define it, and how can you develop that and be aware of it to help use it for your own benefit? I think these concepts go for any art form really, but obviously I love music, I work in music, and I think personally music is the greatest art form. But all art in general gives people some kind of affirmation of existence. It offers people a recognition of being alive, of what it is to be human at any given moment in time. And I think music more specifically is accessible because it also entertains a little bit in the way that a good film does as well. So I believe music can help people, can even heal them in some way. I think it provides them comfort. It can give them confidence in their own lives through the artists that they follow. It can provide meaning to existence even. It can provide escape and refuge, and it can provide human connection and identity to other groups. I could go on. There's loads of different things here. And I'm not trying to be deliberately profound, and I don't want to come across as some sort of new age, hippie-ish kind of vibe here. But what I'm trying to say is that art does all this for people. Music very much so, specifically with the identification of the artist that we want to follow. And if you as an artist don't have some sense of what this is doing for you when you follow other artists and when you listen to music and what it does and how it moves you and what you get out of it, then maybe you're not going to be a great artist, or maybe it's just ideas and concepts that you haven't really considered yet. But those are the main things that artistry should be about, and you need to kind of bring that into what you're creating and how you're developing your art and your music to try to give you something to help you find your own artist voice. Because this is the foundation to the very core, the very essence of what you are as an artist. Okay, that's your artist goal. You can have other goals, such as you want to have world tours, or you want to appear on certain TV shows, you want to sell a certain number of recordings, you want to sell a certain number of tickets, you want to sell loads of merch. So there's sales and marketing goals. That's great. You do need them as well. But your core goal should be your artist voice. And that's what you're trying to achieve. And that's the same for any business. A business can't have a goal of just wanting to make money. Okay? The business needs to have a goal of wanting to be the best at producing a product or a service or whatever it is that they're in business to do. So, for example, we, with our business, we don't have a goal just primarily of wanting to make money and wanting to have a certain number of clients or wanting to manage artists and have them achieve certain things. And okay, that's great. We do have some of those goals. You have to, but that's not our primary goal. Our primary goal is to help artists achieve success in their careers. That's what we do. How much value can we give to artists? That's our primary goal. That's what we focus our energy and our effort on. That's what motivates us. Okay, so you need to have that motivation towards your artistry. That's your primary goal. Don't get distracted by all the sales and marketing goals. Okay, they're secondary. And so therefore what you need to be thinking is, what can I give to my listeners? Remember all those things that I mentioned about what music and art does for people? Is that what you're delivering for people? Are your listeners getting that from you? Because that's what really people want. So your artist's voice needs to be something. Okay, it's not just a general vague aspect or sense of the odd song here and there, or you maybe got a couple of good tunes that people have liked. Okay, it goes far deeper than that. It's a real human connection. It's almost something so profound that you almost can't really articulate it. I'm not really going to keep trying, but that's what you want to be thinking. You must be feeling this. If you're going to be an artist, surely you must be having some sense that this is what it's about. And this is essentially what a fan base is going to be built upon. And although I have to say, I don't really like the word fan very much, because it kind of implies the word fanatic. And really, you just want an audience of people. You want to build a community. That's really what a fan base is. So a fan is kind of an odd word. Maybe tend not to think of people in terms of fans of yours. You just want some connection with people, and you want people to connect with you. So don't overlook this concept of artistic voice as being maybe a bit too abstract. Okay, in fact, it really is the fundamental core foundation of what you're going to need if you're going to build any fan community. Because by having a clear and concise artistic voice, people are going to be able to connect with you. And the reason they'll do that is because you're providing them with something of value, something that they want. And that is all those artistic concepts that I spoke about earlier. Now, in reality, your audience, your community, your fan base, whatever you want to call it, they will get different things from whatever it is that you're offering. Your music and your live performances and your look and your brand, people will interpret that in their own way and have a kind of a personal idea of why they've attached themselves to that. So you're never really going to know exactly how everyone feels. It's not the same thing for everybody. So you just need to be consciously aware of yourself as an artist and what you're doing. So I'm not trying to get you to think about just pleasing fans and pleasing your audience. I'm thinking about you focusing on the fact that you are cultivating your artistic voice, because that is how people will connect to you, okay? One thing follows from the other. Now, for most great artists, there's an endless journey of discovery and of trying to cultivate their artistic voice. And if art is to have any kind of purpose, which I hope there is, but surely embarking on this journey must be part of the process of what it is that you're trying to achieve. I hope that's been really helpful. I hope that's given you some insight and something to consider and to take on board when you're creating your own art. I'll see you next time.